Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your full moon July 2020 reading. If you're looking for a more individual personalized reading, I have links in the description box below that will lead you to options. Other than that, let's go ahead and begin this general reading. We're starting out with, I trust the mystery of life. So I'm being given a vision of someone sitting in sacred space and trying to deepen their path, trying to enhance it, trying to deepen their connection, and their efforts are intense. Like they're really focusing on really trying to intensify. And so their effort and their energy is intense because of it, because there's just this overall desire to be more, get more, connect more, have more. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not getting any message regarding how there's regarding this this desire or this yearning. So there's nothing wrong with desiring to deepen your path and your craft and your connection. The problem is that you're getting too fixated on how you want it to come to pass. You are trying to manipulate the means of connection. You're trying to manipulate and really push or assert your specific definition of how it's supposed to be, instead of allowing this to organically open up and unfold in front of you. And you're being told to rein it in a little bit. Be present with yourself. Be present with your craft. Be present with your practice. Be present with your connection. They will guide you on what it is that your next step is. Have faith that even if the connection and the path and the practice isn't deepening exactly how you want it and exactly the ways that you want it to be doing, that does not mean that nothing is happening, because things are happening, but you are so fixated on it being the sole controller of how it's supposed to be manifesting that you're missing out on ways it's already manifesting, and you're passing it by. It's not passing you by, you're passing it by. And it's just waiting. It's like you have blinders on. You're so intensely fixated on what you've decided it's supposed to be or look like that you cannot see how it already is. And it's waiting for you to connect and tap into it from those means or those sources. So trust that pull or that draw for your spiritual path and connection is actually there to deepen. Your trust, that yearning that you have is real, genuine, and it is where you're supposed to be. But also trust that the very aspect of your spiritual path that's making you yearn for it to be more is also going to present to you exactly how it's supposed to be unfolding, exactly how it's supposed to come to fruition, instead of you trying to, for lack of a better word, aggressively handle it in your direction. So trust that they gave you that yearning. They will also give you the steps and the guidance to further that, however, whenever, and in whatever means it's supposed to be. We have a Six of Wands next. We're following this with the Six of Wands. And overall, if you manage to if you take the blinders off, if you stop being fixated in how it is that you've decided it's supposed to be, you can succeed in every aspect that you have been feeling it's supposed to be. Again, referring back to what I already said about how you are justified in feeling like you have been called, pulled, drawn into deepening your practice. That is a valid feeling. This is true. It is, you are being validated right now in this reading that yes, all of that you have been feeling is absolutely true. But the way that you succeed in it is not to force it to go the way you want it to. It is to allow yourself to just open up and know that which gave you that yearning will also give you that guidance. We have gratitude. And I get an overall sense that this is kind of a step in the right direction. Like this is one of those tiny little steps that you can take that seems sort of innocuous, but it's not. So essentially, one of the first ways to kind of back yourself up, settle in a little bit, kind of take the blinders off, open yourself up a little bit more for what's available to you already, is to take time to write out or have an overall sense or do a ceremony or whatever it is, however this applies to you and your personal spiritual practice. Do something that actually really allows you to exude gratitude for all of the leaps and bounds and connections in your spiritual path and practice that you've already created. Really reflect on everything that you've already partaken in, all the ways that you have already grown, all of the connections you've already developed, all of the means of communication and communion you already have. Take the time to really reflect on that, to really connect with, okay, I used to be here, and I now have all of these as a way of how I already define my spiritual path and practice and connection. And in the process of doing that, you're going to have an overall sense of an enlightenment regarding where you were, where you are, and where you can be. So this is one of the first steps that you can take for kind of shifting your focus, and then by shifting your focus, opening yourself up to whatever the next step is that you see in the horizon, you can feel in the horizon is waiting for you. Finally, we have the visionary. And again, this process, the gratitude card of really settling in with and finding a way to reflect on, if not even creating some sort of ceremony or celebration or ritual or whatever regarding recognizing who you were and who you are now, and a little bit of comparison between the two, and really recognizing what your path has grown into, your connection and your practice, what it has grown into. And the process of this, and the process of kind of reining yourself in, taking the blinders off, getting that intensity to not be focused on what you feel or sense as potential, but letting that intensity kind of to be dialed down a little bit, and creating room for other vibrations. And in the process of doing that, part of the vibrations and the frequency that you'll receive in that will be visions of what is to come next, means of your practice that you probably haven't really seen or come across because you have been focused on something so specific you haven't seen. Like I said, things in the peripheral that you've been passing by, you will be able to see those. They will come into your vision when you rein it in, dial it down, settle in a little bit, create this practice or this ritual or this connection of gratitude. You will open up to vibrations and frequencies that's going to allow you to see something that can enhance your connection or your craft in a way that you would never have come across had you remained on the path that you were already on. So rein it in, dial it down, connect, do a little bit of something that is a seamless part of your craft that incorporates gratitude in some facet regarding where you are now spiritually. And by doing so, you'll open yourself up for that message of what's next that you've been kind of actively seeking for. And they're letting you know you don't have to be so active in seeking for that. We have it for you. You just haven't been quiet enough to hear what we have to tell you. All right, that is all I have for you as far as this full moon is concerned. If you're looking for something that's a bit more personal and individual to you and your situation, go ahead and check out the link box below. Other than that, I hope you have a powerful, connective full moon, and hopefully I will see you in a future video.